The mind can really get carried away. So there's just a way of understanding, right, of what's going on. I mean, this is the kind of thing that the Buddha had going on under the Bodhi tree, right? When he sat there and he had all these wonderful visions, and then after the wonderful visions couldn't tempt him into, forsaking the truth, then all these sort of hellish, nightmarish sort of things would arise in his consciousness. And what they were, his own unconsciousness was opening up, the dark side. And really the thing for him to do was, like it's a thing for any of us to do, is not to grasp at the good stuff, not to grasp at the promises of, heaven or greater powers or any of the temptations that come with becoming more conscious, because spiritual awakening comes with its own temptations. And if we grasp those and try to own those, then we'll sort of fall out of that consciousness. On the other side, there are the things that try to scare us, frighten us back into a more unconscious state, right?
Right.
So the trick is, which really isn't a trick, but the trick is actually something very, very simple. It may not be easy, but it's very simple. Which, when you recognize what's happening, you recognize really what you are is the only thing you are to be is a space in which anything can arise. That you are that space and that light of consciousness in which unconsciousness can arise. It can open itself in whatever form it does, and sometimes you might feel quite frightened by it. But, like the Buddha was quite frightened, and he literally, when it got really tough, at one point he reached down and touched the earth. And that's touching the earth symbolizes, like, I'm reaching out in this very intense, wild, difficult moment here, these very, dark visions. I'm reaching out, I'm touching the earth, because the earth is that was his reference point for this is real. My hand is touching something real. My mind is, it's going in all these wild experiences, but the earth is my support. It's reminding me what's real. So that's why he reached down and touched the earth, right?
Wow.
Just like, this is real. Because when it happens, you can really lose your sense of what's real, can't you?
Yes.
It can easily take you away and kind of suck you into its own domain. So the trick is not to sort of indulge it, and add more sort of material to it by thinking it or even trying to figure it out, but also not to push it away, because if you push it away, that also energizes it. It literally gives it the raw energy that it needs to keep going.
Right.
So you're not pushing it and you're not grasping it. It's almost like it's more, and I know this is very simplistic, but it's more like the attitude of, okay, I am here for this to unfold. The darkness, it has no inherent reality. There really isn't anything that's threatening about it. It's like a waking nightmare, but I'm just going to just be the space for this nightmare to unfold itself. And when it does, and you can stay conscious, you don't go into too much fear. Or it's not that you don't go into fear, it's that you don't go into resistance to fear, you see. And you don't go into indulging in fear, either one of those. Then it can unfold itself. See? That which was unconscious can be conscious. That nightmare can just display itself and then just move on.
And okay, so right, so.
This is a little bit like, I don't know if you've ever, it doesn't matter if you've ever read this book, but you've probably heard of the book, the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Yes.
Yeah. And the Tibetan Book of the Dead, basically, in the simplistic sense, the Tibetan Book of the Dead is, of course, instructions of what to do after you die. And really all the instructions are, they give you they describe these various bardo states that you can go into. And basically the teaching is always very simple. It's some version of basically simply remain as the light of awareness. Don't be too scared by the scary stuff. Don't be enticed by the good stuff. Just stay as the light of awareness. These are all bardo states, which means they are creations of the mind. They have no objective reality whatsoever. Just be that space, that pure light of consciousness. Allow them to do what they do. Allow them to go through your consciousness. Allow them to disappear.